Hello, my name is Carlos Volto. I'm from Jovem Nerd from Brazil.
Hello, Carlos. I'm dying to come to Brazil. I haven't been to Brazil yet.
It's a beautiful place. We have a lot of problems.
Well, everywhere. It's not just Brazil. You watched it in season 6. Everywhere.
Yes. We get here from season 1, pending a tease of a war since the first season, and now we are having that war that was teased. Do you believe the conclusion is definitive, or the differences will always bring us back to conflict?
Well, there are 3 books after this, so clearly we don't think it's completely definitive.
If you watch the very first episode of the first season, it begins with a text crawl that describes the instability of the system with Earth and Mars and the belt and the tensions between them. And that's the promise that the story was making at the beginning. And I feel like the war of season 6 and the resolution of that war really pay off that text scroll. I think we told you what we were going to tell you, and we spent 6 seasons telling you.
I'm Christian Avasarala, UN Deputy Undersecretary.
Let me ask you, Avasarala, oh my God, Avasarala.
Poliglota, fala vários idiomas.
Avasarala.
You know what? I have to share this with you. At the beginning, they had problems with pronouncing my name, and they said, leave it to Shorty. Shorty will say Avasarala.
Avasarala. Now I said it.
Yeah.
Amos is one of my favorite characters.
I see you have the Amos, got the Amos beard going.
Amos beard. He had a journey from not knowing what to do to trying to make his own choices, and he discovering the trust in his family. Now, do you think his journey is complete?
I don't think anybody's journey is complete until they die, but I think he's hit a major milestone in his journey. And I think Peaches and his relationship to her is a big part of that, of his development, his emotional development, of having to be that mentor to her, like mentors that he's relied on so heavily in his past. That's been a big part of his growth.
There's some scenes in this season coming up that I really love, where Amos kind of stands up to the people that were mentors to him to try and stand up for Clarissa. That's really beautiful moments on Amos's growth.
Everyone brace!
You two had a long way from season 1 to here. How is the feeling to get to the end for you two and for the characters?
It's many things. I think it's bittersweet as an actor, but also I feel really kind of proud and full of gratitude that we got to the end of this story and we got to tell it. And I really loved Holden and Naomi's arc so much, and from where they started at complete odds with each other to this very beautiful, mature, adult version of themselves on this really kind of like respectful, loving common ground about the fate of the solar system. For me, it was a very beautiful ending to their arc, and I'm really happy that it went in that direction.
Likewise, it was a very satisfying way to end this really beautiful journey. You know, the writing has always been so spectacular, and just end the arc on such a perfect note, really elegant way to kind of close it out was really amazing, satisfying.
We have a shorter season, only 6 episodes. Do you believe it was enough?
I think we had to compress, that's for sure. But, you know, we had a good chunk of the beginning of book 6, storylines that we actually had done earlier in season 5 with Drummer's character. It is pretty intense. It's pretty pressure packed. And it's, you know, episode 6 is like an episode and a half. I mean, that one runs almost 65 minutes. Yeah, there was enough.
We got enough.
I don't think we could have told it in 5 episodes this way.
We are the belt! We are strong!
In the last 2 seasons, I saw a development in the 2 characters. Drummer had to make difficult choices. Do you think her choices made her one of the strongest characters in the show?
I think that she just always makes the choice that she feels she has to make. I think that her main drive is the liberation of her people. That's her true heart. And of course, when things get chaotic and, you know, her family members end up, you know, in the crossfire, she does what she has to do, and it costs her everything. You know, it costs her everything. But I think we see that she has this almost sort of this purity to her where she is uncompromising. And as much as she would never choose that, I think that is what makes her a true leader.
Thank you for coming.
Milthrone?
I knew there was a reason I liked you.
Inaros is a narcissistic person. He came from being a rebel, a bandit, a terrorist, and now he's a leader, but he has no interest in leading people. He only wants to be recognized. He's the type of leader we must fear.
I mean, to the degree that his narcissism is the basis for his decisions, then Yeah, absolutely. The moment where the narcissism isn't just a part of the fuel that allows him to rise up as a leader for the values of his mission and instead becomes the mission in itself, that's when I think it becomes really dangerous. And that's a really fine line for any single one of our leaders in this world, is you have to have certain qualities. You have to have a certain will and ambition in order to put yourself out there as a leader. But then this is where it gets tricky, is once you have all that and you have that power, what do you stay true to? And this is true throughout history. And the way that we've written our history books is that we've taken them and put them on a pedestal and treated them as heroes for what they've accomplished, but we often leave out the story of what it took for them to get there. What we've accomplished here is showing the full picture of a leader and what it took to get there. And because we don't often see it, a lot of us watch this and are like, oh, that's gross, that's evil, that's bad, that's horrible. But how often is that happening around us with our leaders right now? I would offer to you that it's happening all the time, even in democracies.
Me vejo obrigado a concordar com palestrinha.
Let's say humanity have the ability to survive against the odds and live to repeat the same mistakes again. You guys think this is what we do? Can we break the cycle?
History would say no.
Yeah. No, but in history's defense, with all of our fumbling and stumbling and bloodiness and wars and travesties and atrocities, we do keep showing up and we still wind up doing all of the amazing, beautiful, wonderful, kind, nifty things too. So it's a
balance. It's a balance.
And that's the show in a nutshell, I would say.
My fellow citizens, we have arrived at the dawn of a new era. We will face the unknown together.
She came a long way from season 1. She became the voice of reason in this war. And now she went to the front line to not have her message lost in transmission. Is this the type of leader we should have?
Depends on what we're looking for. Abisola has never been this sincere ever before. She's now wearing her emotions. She doesn't care. She cries, she talks, she's because of the fact that she's gone through a lot. She was a wise woman to begin with, highly educated. But what she has learned during the course of 6 years has taught her she needs to stand with the people, be supported by the people, and work for the people.
Holden never wanted to be in command. He was forced to do it, and he learned how to be a great leader. Is he the best of humanity had to offer?
I think Holden does the best he can. If anything, Holden is someone who has found his strength through his humility and through his empathy. And I think it's a very unique hero journey in a way, is heroic in the way that he empathizes with others. I wouldn't go as far to say that the best or worst of anything, but he's certainly tried his best, I will say.
There's a planet on the other side of the ring. A group of Berta refugees has claimed it as their home.
The conflict we see in the series are very similar to what we experience in the world today. Distrust, hate for those that are different. Do you see us solving these issues anytime soon?
Honestly, it's a question for future. You're absolutely right. I keep saying Expanse has never been this close to reality before. It speaks for today's world, really. All the parallels to this world. And I guess we are all looking for the right answer. But the right answer may be hidden in Mahatma Gandhi's message. He once said, there is enough in this big, vast world for everyone's need, but not for everyone's greed. Sometimes I fucking hate being right.
We have Drummer had the chance to end Inaros and choose not to. Do you think she would kill him now, knowing what happens after that?
My bodyguards just had to pull her off me a few minutes ago. So
Yeah.
that's the answer to that question.
Yeah.
There's a lot of open plots that can be explored in more seasons or in the future. Can we see stories in these 30 years?
We're not going to write them, but someone might. I don't know.
Thanks, both of you, and get up the security because it's dangerous.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I will. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Lovely to
you.
meet you.
Thank you so much.
Good night.
Thank you very much. It was amazing.